Okay, hey everybody, here we go. Here's the transmission, we've got it. And what we're gonna do right now is just work on some simple stuff. This sensor and maybe that sensor, we'll probably start with this guy first. Just pop it off and make sure that we clean it with some brake cleaner and we clean the screens and put new O-rings on it. We might take this guy off and get those guys cleaned up too, but we might actually just leave this guy because these aren't really usually the issue. It's usually these guys get screens blocked, these guys get screens blocked, and I think that's it. So once we have that, we should be good to go. Oh, and then we will work on this side. We'll take this off, pop this out. This is the torque converter. We'll just inspect it. There's a seal behind here. We'll replace the seal. And then there's also an O-ring. We'll replace the O-ring, and then we're good to go. All right, I'm going to record every now and then just to keep an eye on where everything is and make sure that I do this right. So, yeah. All right, I'll be right back. Here are the new O-rings. I have to see if they'll work. Okay. Okay, got one that's the right size. That's this guy. But we're going to clean this guy out a little bit. It's got a lot of debris in here, so. Also, I'm going to soften up this gasket a little bit and see if I can get it out without destroying it. It's already ripped, so it's kind of destroyed, but if I can get the pattern out, I can cut a new one because I got gasket maker material. Okay. Let me get a knife maybe. What is that? Oh, what am I doing? Use a razor blade. Sure. It's cleaned off. Okay. All right, that's pretty close. This hole got a little bit messed up, but I think I might be able to just put some transmission fluid on this and stamp it onto the I got some gasket material from O'Reilly's, and I might just be able to make a stamp and then trace it out that way. I think that's what I'm going to do actually. But I'm just going clean this surface off pretty well. Clean that surface off pretty well. And we'll be all done. Oh, I probably should do this over the trash can, not over the brake cleaner catch. It's all good. As long as it gets done. That's the key. This part I might just dremel with a soft bristle brush. Just get this stuff off here. Right, let's get these other O-rings out. These are all the same size, by the way, and their dimensions are 35.5 by, nope, that's the wrong one. Dimensions are, well, this is the O-ring. It's this model number, okay? But I believe it's, the dimensions are, yeah, 111, 11 millimeter outside diameter. A little bit more. I'm not gonna say because I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll write it down. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen here in the video. Now all I'm doing is just cleaning the mating surface. It's got some gasket material just stuck here, so I'm gonna clean that up. Get this other O-ring out. I really shouldn't be cutting towards my hand on my thumb, but you know, sometimes it's safety first, sometimes it's safety third. Sometimes you just gotta get the job done. There we go. Try not to cut towards your wrist. Bad news. Oh, crud. No, that was very bad. Okay, so I made a gouge in here, right on that mating surface, so I'm gonna have to sand that down. Dadgummit. It's not what I wanted to do. That's all right, we can just sand it down. It's not the end of the world. Just be real careful when you're cleaning this up. Maybe use a smaller razor blade. This knife blade is way too big. It's just the cleanest blade I have. It's a cleanest razor blade I have. The reason why you want to get those gouges out is because the gouges will cause a leak under the gasket and create a place where the mating surface can fail. So I'm just going to keep it simple. I'll put a piece of sandpaper down on something very, very flat, probably a melamine board or something, and then just rub this on top of it. That should get all these imperfections out of there. And the rest of this gasket material out of there too. Should be helpful. Okay, that's it. Surfaces are now cleaned. Relatively. Just gonna even out that surface and we're done. Okay. You get all this debris out of the solenoid. Do not want that stuff inside these valves. Should open the garage door too. Get some of this smell out of here. Okay, that's what it should look like. There's a tiny little scratch right there. I'm just going to try and remove it. But if it's not even feeling it actually with my fingernails, so I might just leave that and just put a new gasket on it. So originally I had ordered everything from Honda Parts Now, the right gaskets, the whole deal, but they did not ship me a box that was closed, which is insane. I don't know what they were thinking. So I went to O'Reilly's. They actually have gasket material there, so I can make my own gaskets, which is pretty crazy, and it's very inexpensive. This whole roll, which I don't even know how much material is here, this whole roll was like $5. So I'm just gonna cut a small piece that is reasonably the right size, so I'm not fighting with this roll. And then I'll show you my idea for making a gasket for a transmission solenoid. Well, actually I'll just do it. So this is I had changed my transmission fluid, but I had also just fixed my transmission axles, or my axles. So my transmission fluid, I drained it and it was like pure, it looked like brand new transmission fluid. So that's what this is. Just clean this guy up a little bit. So this is like transmission fluid, but it's not really used. It's kind of like unused transmission fluid. So I'm just gonna wet it here. Apparently I have something on. Crazy. Am I nuts? I'm totally nuts. Freaking nuts. Okay, hold on a second. I can't believe I just did that. And I'm dripping transmission fluid all over my floor. Put some cardboard down just to catch it. Get some of this. Just grab it. Maybe I'll clamp that. Can't believe I just did that. Just got like transmission fluid everywhere. Okay. Let's clamp this. That'll catch whatever's leaking through. That can go in the trash here. Okay. Got way too much fluid here. I don't know why I'm doing this over the. Let's try that again, this time without being an insane person throwing transmission fluid everywhere. Okay, so actually this paper towel is a good idea. So clean finger, pretty clean transmission fluid. I'm just going to wet this substantially all the way around. Okay, and then what I'll do is let's just take this guy and press it on there. Probably should do it the other way where this is like flat on the ground, but I don't know. This is an experiment. Let's see if that worked. Ooh, that did work. Look at that. It's pretty cool. Alright, now let's do it the other way, just so we have two stamps. I think that would work. Okay, let's do something here, something flat, theoretically. Okay. Rock back and forth. Let's see how that worked. Nope, didn't work at all. Okay, so my first instinct was correct. We're just going to go along the back side now. Alright, let's see how that did. That's pretty good. I'll say the first one kind of came out best, didn't it? So, put this guy on here so we can get the rest of the shape. Yeah, that's good. Oh, maybe this way. Probably should have a scissors ready to go, or a Sharpie. Get a Sharpie. See how well pencil does on transmission fluid. Okay, so if I was going to do this again, I would just use a dry one of these, and I wouldn't put transit fluid on it. And yeah, I'll just try to get it off my old gasket. But what we'll do is we'll cut it out and we'll see how it goes. Alright, see if I can get this thing fiddled over here. These two are basically the same. Yeah, just use a pencil in the old gasket. That'll do. Okay, let's try to cut that out. Don't use a crazy big razor blade like that. Oh, and dry your hands off. Goodness gracious, Bizani. So, getting back to Honda parts now. They screwed me. They sent me a box that was open, and like 4 or 5 of my products that I had ordered fell out of the box. And apparently they are in 1982 because they can't take a high definition HEIC formatted photograph from my Samsung phone, so I gotta convert it and then send it to them again, but we'll see how they do. I'm not 100% sure they're gonna do the right thing. Alright, I'm gonna cut this out with the X-Acto knife, and I'll be right back.